Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Drew Story News podcast. And I know I'm hitting you guys from different angles, different backgrounds, and all sorts of, different locations. But I'm gonna get to a more regular scene eventually. And on this channel, I'm gonna get back to the format of either interviewing or talking with people and conversing with you with a topic. And on the main channel, I got a lot of things coming out. But, there was a lot of stuff going on in the world and in my life personally, a lot of moving around. Today, and I was burning up with a lot of downloads and things I wanted to share, things I wanted to, communicate, but I was unable to. And on this channel, like I said, everything on this channel is not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. So if you're not into spiritual things, you can pass, you can watch, whatever. But there's gonna be a video for you soon coming up. If not this one, maybe one of the next ones, because I'm gonna pretty much talk about everything. But this is kind of more for the spiritual crowd, and it's something that's hugely, hugely important. And it's about shadow work. And it's something that I have to do myself. You have to get yourself right. And a lot of powerful, amazing things have been happening, to me personally. Conversations, downloads, and it's really, really important for high vibrational spiritual people, or people who esteem themselves to make sure they're doing their shadow work and checking themselves, because I'm telling you, we're in the last stages. We're in the middle of a very important time, and if you're stuck in your lower vibrational energy, you're not going to ascend. I don't care how advanced you esteem yourself to be, because here's the thing: a lot of source players, high vibrational source players, like I like to use a Star Wars analogy. We are like force workers. We are aware of the force. We have knowledge of the force. And a lot of people who are in their Padawan stage are trapped in their lower energies. They are, and a lot of source players, and myself included, because we know on a spiritual level, we know ourselves a little bit. We're more tapped into source. We're more tapped into a certain kind of spiritual awareness. So we feel our power a little bit. We feel special. We feel, and you are powerful. You are special. And, a lot of times people who are source players, they go to the dark side. They fall to the dark side. And it's like, not unlike Star Wars, it doesn't mean you're going to become an evil Sith. You're just not going to ascend. You're going to cap yourself off, and you're not going to grow. Because you're not going to get out of your own way. You're stuck in your shadow. And what are those things that trap people down? Well, I'm seeing it in my life. Like, there's people who can't get out of their ego. They're narcissistic in their thoughts. For example, if you're having beef with people in your life, what we all tend to do, which is a bad mistake, and it's the dark side. We don't see things from the greater perspective. We see things from our own limited perspective. And what do we do as people? We're in our ego, and we are narcissists sometimes, and we see things from our own perspective. We don't see our actions that were wrong. We just make everything about us, and we make ourselves the protagonists, and we make the other person the antagonist. I'm telling you, if you're doing that with people in your life, you're screwing up. You're screwing up bad, especially if that person is a source player, because that person is connected directly to source and is another reflection of you. And if you're villainizing that person,
it's all Obi-Wan's fault. He's jealous. He's holding me back.
What's wrong, Annie?
What we tend to do as people is to make things make sense from our ego. I feel pain. I feel this person did this to me. He's the villain, or that person, she's the villain. I'm the, the protagonist. I'm the hero of my story. And all of it could be complete bullshit that you created in your own mind because you didn't talk to the person, you didn't understand things from a different perspective. You know what? I did that. Oh, I didn't realize that that was on that person's mind. Oh, I didn't realize that. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that we don't realize, and learning what we don't know, respecting what we don't know, is wisdom. Assuming things and falling into our emotions is the dark side. Greed, guilt, anger, jealousy, holding grudges. That person did that, so I'm gonna not talk to him. These energies are low vibrational energies, and they're not serving the light. It's in your head. A lot of these things that people react to are projections. Like, people are creating their own drama that doesn't exist. We need to stop taking things personally. When somebody does something and it hurts you, it wasn't necessarily done to you. It's kind of that person on their journey, and this kind of happened, and this kind of happened, especially if you exit their lives and you discover this and discover there's nothing to do with you. It's just life moving on and things happening that don't include you, but they're not attacks to you. People process things crazy and always look for the negative. This is things going on. There's other source players interacting. There's other things playing out. And it is what it is. It's not something done to you. And we have to learn to get out of our own minds, because people are stuck in their lower vibration, creating things in their own mind, creating delusions and illusions and living through them, and villainizing characters in their lives by assuming and imagining and projecting. And what you're believing and thinking is pure bullshit. It's just nonsense. And people enslave themselves to their own out of control mind, the dark side. The dark side. We need to vibrate higher, raise our vibration to the vibration of love, where we're not holding grudges. We don't hold grudges. We don't, get angry and, you did this to me, and, all that. The light workers on the higher vibrational spectrum, we've dropped that. And I had to learn to do that. Quite recently, like, you have to, like, sometimes your goal is to be the best version of yourself, and we're not always the best version of ourselves. And you can revisit things. You can revisit things and say, oh, you know what? Do some meditative work, reflect, and see, oh, I wasn't really being the best version of myself. Maybe I ought to call that person. Maybe I ought to do this. And, if that person's not receptive, they're caught in their own movie. Whatever. As long as you are responsible for who you are, and you can catch yourself, and you can go back to places in time where you can understand things, and you shouldn't have said this and you shouldn't have done that, but your feelings are valid. What I'm learning for myself is that there are things that I don't do, which is causing problems, which cause problems and chaos in my life. And one of the things that I do is I don't speak on the things that upset me in real time. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. They're, you're reacting to things. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty or that you're being selfish or anything. Your feelings are real. They're honest. They're authentic. They come up. It's a part of what you feel, and it's valid. No one can discredit that. It's not the feeling that's anyone could, make you feel bad about, because it's your authentic feeling. It's, it's what you feel. It's the reaction to the feeling that is the thing that you need to focus on. How do you deal with, how do you handle, you know, things that happen to you? And, you know, that's where I failed. My feelings were valid. It's like my reaction. And, you know, what happens is when you react, you force people into their lower self. Well, no, it's not your, it's they're responsible for their own actions and reactions. And you know what happens is a lot of people they just get so, and a lot of source players too, they get so proud, indignant, and in their ego. They're so, a lot of people are so damn emotional and take things personally, and you know, spin things into a different direction. I was having a conversation just talking about things going on in my life, and you know, people said, you know, things to put things in the right perspective. Like, no, you know, if this, you know, if someone's a high vibrational person, like, why would they choose that route? Why would they react that way? No, this is, you know, this is paradigm shift time. You know, that low level stuff. No, you know, so yeah, everyone's responsible for their reaction and reactions. Feelings are authentic. They're real. They come up. It's your reaction that is what you need to focus on, and how you deal with them. And I'm learning to deal with mine a little bit better. So when things happen, you have people in your life, and you know, indirectly, directly or indirectly, for whatever reason, they trigger you. Some people could keep hitting you up for favors. Some people could, I don't know, you're in a relationship and someone doesn't feel the same. You're a friend says something to you, or you think that, you know, they're being insensitive, or they're saying things passive aggressive, and it's kind of getting on your nerves, that they're digging on you, or that's not real necessarily, but that's your assumption, that's your projection, that's your interpretation. And you know, or some kind of thing, whatever it is, to each his own situation, whatever it is, and something triggers you in the moment. Communicate your thoughts, communicate your thoughts, and you know, give that person the opportunity to reflect and speak to their higher self, and that higher self will, version of that person, will respond to your concerns, and you might be able to smooth things out. What I do sometimes, which is I'm saying as a bad thing to do, is I hold things in too much. I don't speak about things in real time. I swallow things. It's a very masculine trait. A lot of us men do that stuff. We just do stuff, especially when dealing with women in our lives sometimes. And we're annoyed by something, we're triggered by something, they'll say something, they'll do something, and it will bother us. We won't like it. But a lot of us, we just swallow it. We just swallow it. But what can happen sometimes when you don't speak on how you feel and you don't address things, it can fester, it doesn't leave, and then it becomes a toxic poison, it becomes a cancer. And then that person's going to say one more thing, ask one more favor, do something, something's going to trigger you to do something that's not positive, not in the light, and it's in your lower vibration. It is in your lower self reacting. You're triggered, you reacted. And that reaction, I can guarantee you, is not going to be the right thing to do, or to the thing to have said. And it's going to spill into, you know, a bad chain of reactions, especially if the person is not in their higher self, or not on that vibrational level to just absorb it and transmute it and come back in light. There's a lot of people, source players who are not yet at that level where they can really, they vibrate on such a love vibration where they can take something bad from someone and transmute it, understand it, overstand it, and not react in it or under that action. I mean, that's what you're going to get a lot of times. People are going to get triggered by you being triggered and doing something that maybe you should not have done or said. And then it's going to spiral out. Shadow work. Shadow work is necessary for moving ahead. Getting out of your ego. Nobody owes you anything, and nobody's really doing anything to you personally. Stop taking things personally. It's going to destroy people's life. People are going to lose relationships, lose valuable things in life, lose time wallowing in the dark side, wallowing in ego, wallowing in their emotions. Oh, I deserve this, I deserve this, that person did this to me. That is all darkness. That is all shadow. And eventually, the light workers, the source players, we're going to have to vibrate up to a higher vibration. This new earth, all that lower stuff, you're not ascending to it. I guarantee you, you're not ascending to it if you don't clear that out. Do your shadow work. Learn to love people, even when they're not very lovable at the moment, but you know their soul. Especially when you're dealing with other source players, you better be very careful who you cast out. You better be careful. Know their soul. Know that they are also connected to source, and they are human in this 3D experience this that we're co-creating. We're not always going to be our best self. But, when you're connected to your higher self, you will know that. And you will operate in the spirit of love on a higher vibration, not of judgment and ego and I need this and you did that and I, dropped that. That's not going to New Earth. None of that is. None of that is. And, that's why a lot of people won't ascend, because they don't understand the ins and outs and the peripheries of shadow work. I got to take time to do it. And I can always humble myself because I follow something greater than myself. And, if there's a moment in time, and I don't care how much time went by where you can stop yourself and try to correct something, address something, at least you tried to do it. I don't have anything to feel bad about. I have nothing to, I'm human. And, you can make missteps, make mistakes, but it's not about sin. We've been taught that from a Judeo-Christian perspective. No, it's not about that. It's about cause and effect. You can do this, this, and this, but this, and this is going to happen to you if you do that, and that. Cause and effect. These are laws of the universe. But when it comes to people, it gets a little more complex. You can hurt people with your actions. That's why, relationships require communication, not assumptions. Not, you have to treat relationships a certain kind of way, especially with other source players. But don't fall into the low vibrational dark side trap of living in your head, making assumptions, living through illusions and delusions and projections, or creating things that are not real, creating reasons why this person did that, not talking to the person, but creating reasons why this happened and that happened and they did this and they did that, and creating the movie, the complete delusional fictional movie in your mind that they are the villain and they're, energy, masculine, they're doing no. Nah. No. When things are happening and they're not to your liking and you're feeling pain, it's about you, your experience. You're having an experience, and oftentimes you're projecting a lot of it. You're creating a lot of it. Roll back the tape. Roll back the tape. We'll play out the whole series of events. I'll say, so what happened this past few months? What did I do? What was happening to me? What was I doing? What was I asking? What was going on? And look at yourself. Look at yourself. And be more concerned about who you are, what your reactions were to each and every scenario. And was that reaction in your higher self? Was that, be careful about judging or worrying too much about someone else's actions, someone else's reactions. That's not your concern. Your concern is you, your reaction. Who are you? What was happening? Think from a third person perspective. What is that person? What do you think that person's perspective was? What guided his motives? Is that or her motives? Is that person evil? Is everybody except you evil in a lower state? And probably not. Probably making it all up in your head, and it's gonna get worse and worse and worse unless you start to do your shadow work, clearing things out. And you're not going to change if you don't see your missteps. And cycles are going to continue. I'm going to jump into this crowd now until I fuck up again, or ruin relationships, or not understand, or get in my head, misinterpret. You have to do your shadow work. You always have to check yourself. Why is this important? Well, look at the times. We're getting challenged. This is such an important time in history. Like right now, rumors of war. Why is this happening? This is distraction number one. This is something for us to all look at. Like a lot of people are chained to the system. But we're realizing now that the system needs to come undone. The system needs to collapse. You're realizing that a lot of these leaders are they're spineless, weak, lying entities. This demonic Justin Trudeau, this clown, this liar, this person hiding, not really facing the people. He's bringing about tyranny and fascism, and he's authorizing freezing accounts, arresting citizens he's silencing dissent. These are spineless little weasels, your world leaders. Joe Biden's over there lying about something else. You have Putin over there, bringing us back down to lower vibrational thought, acquiring things that are never his to even have. Like he's, bombing Ukraine, and, you see these low vibrational entities running your society in each place of the world, running your society, and we don't need these people anymore. We are vibrating out of they're not in control of us spiritually, vibrationally. They are our inferiors, and we need to no longer co-create with them. This is why shadow work is important. These people the system is trying to pull you down lower, to make you react, to make you fearful, to make you co-create what they want you to co-create. Think about this. Don't worry about, that and that. Don't worry about raising your vibration. Don't worry about this. Look at this bomb. Boom. Look at this. We're blowing up the world. This World War III. This Armageddon, which is very likely right about now. But when you're a high-minded, high-vibrational person, we collectively have a light where a lot of these things won't affect us. And if any part of your life is stuck on that lower vibration, whether it be relationship issues, whether it be financial issues, whether it be whatever, that's a footing they have in you. They got you stressed out about finances. You're stressed out about friendship or relationship. You're stressed out about something, and you're not reacting correctly. They got 1 foot in on you. And that 1 foot, that one little hole they have is going to keep you from vibrating up when the time is right. Shadow work. Clear out you got to go down deep into yourself in order to shed ego, in order to shed, it's the dark side is easy. It's easy. I encourage everyone to watch Star Wars. The dark side is like when someone does something to you, emotions, I was grabbed once. It's like scary. It's like people who are not in control of their emotions. It's the dark side. It's easy to react. It's easy to be indignant and feel like you do this to me and be in your ego. That's got to go. The love vibration. The love vibration allows you to, you can love people and not necessarily have to be with them. You can love people. People only know a fake kind of love. Fake Hollywood created love where it's conditional and, I'm with you, you're with me forever. And yeah, it's beautiful. The story is nice, but love is selfless. Love is real love is selfless. Love is overstanding. It's not about being a weak pushover to get stomped on. No, I'm not saying that. But love is not what people think it is. Love is powerful, more powerful than that. Way more powerful than a lot of people understand it to be. Love is, it's such a healing thing. It's such a, it's such a powerful thing that it's very hard to describe. Love vibration, love for yourself, love for other people, love for humanity. That vibration of love can just kind of let you realize that certain things that you thought were important, not important at all. That was your lower self. That was the lower yourself in your 3D emotions taking over and blocking you from your higher self. Like, yeah, the dark side is quick. The dark side is easy. The dark side is your shadow work. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are real, but you're supposed to feel them, experience them, learn from them, and vibrate up. Not be defeated by them. Not have these feelings control your actions in the dark side, in the moment where you're reacting to them. And you're creating a movie and you're in your mind and you just keep going and going and going. You're going in circles. You're not rising up. You're going in circles and probably spiraling down. Your shadow work. The shadow work is extremely important right now because we are in the middle of a battle of our mind. A battle for our mind. And this matrix wants to pull you down. This matrix wants to keep you from raising your vibration. When everyone raises their vibration collectively, we're not going to have all this strife. We're not going to have all this conflict. We're not going to have all this war. We're not going to have all this drama. We're not going to have all these lies. One of the things I do on my channel is, I've defended people who I believe were falsely accused. Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, two of the most notable ones. And what you're seeing, I use these as examples for my spiritual videos. I speak to the masses on my main channel where I'm talking to everyone. But on spiritual platforms, I use them as examples as how this system can manipulate your mind and get you to vibrate in low vibrational judgment and hate. And they're lying to you about everything. They're lying to you. They're switching things around, telling you that the victim is the villain, and the villains who are lying and getting money and getting paid, they are the victims, and they switch everything around on people, and they're so stupid. They believe whatever they're showing on that damn television. And I use these things as examples to show you how they can get you on that lower vibration. When they have you in that lower vibration, when they can manipulate you emotionally, especially if you were sexually assaulted, and you have that memory, and they can tell you a story. Look, he did it too. He's your abuser. And they can get you emotionally to react. They got you like a monkey. You're just looking at a society of monkeys on strings. They just manipulate people who just don't think on that love vibration. When you're on a love vibration, you're not quick to judge. You're not quick to make a decision in your emotions. You're not quick to be fooled, tricked, or deceived by liars, because we're in a matrix of deception. Everything about this 3D matrix is about controlling what you think, manipulating your emotions, and manipulating you into your slavery. Everything about this dimension is for you to learn something, for you to navigate, learn through it, and keep yourself intact, your higher self, and evolve and ascend. everything about this matrix is a school. Not for you to be a part of it, not to be manipulated by it, not to fall into your lower self, the dark side. Because the time is coming where you want to have these things checked. You want to have these things resolved. You know, if you can't have disputes and arguments with people, that doesn't mean, that's not something bad about the people that you're having a falling out with. It has to do with you. You. What is going on with you? That's what you should be worried about. Why are you no longer approachable? What's happening? You know? So shadow work is very, very, very important. And yes, we are at the brink of war. I keep saying a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things are going to happen. And we're going to have to be resilient. A lot of compromises have been made from people on the low vibration. Early on, you see people fell into the fear vibration because they weren't on a higher vibration. They were watching TV. They got freaked out by what the psychopaths, the puppet show that they showed them, and they ran out and got stuff done that they probably should not have done. It is what it is. You have people running around. Why do you think there's so much drama on TV? There's so much drama on the news? Because that's the vibration they want you on. They want you emotional and reactionary. Because that's not your higher self. When you're emotional and reactionary, you're taking things personally. You're reacting. They feed off that energy. The archons. But you got your heart broken? What are you reacting to this news story? They feed off your energy when you're not in control and you're not in touch with your higher self. Stop taking things personally. Keep intact. Know who you should avoid. There's people in this realm who you should avoid. There's people in this realm who are not good for you. There's people who you'd be better off not in contact with. But be wise about who those people really are, and know when you yourself are not the villain in a certain situation. You have to really keep your spiritual eyes open and really make sure you're on the vibration of love and understanding. And I can't say enough how that is going to be very necessary. You to have your shadow work in check for the wave of stuff that's coming down the pike. If you're not ready, you're going to be swept away like everyone else, or you're not necessarily going to be swept away, but you're just not going to be ascending. You're not going to be ascending. You're not going to be at the point where you think you need to be. You're not going to be at the point, a place where you should be when certain things come crashing down. The things that make you feel sad, the things that hurt you, they hurt you for a reason. Think about those reasons. Think about those things. Think about the reasons why it hurts you. And sit with it. Take your time. Sit with it. But make sure that you're not reacting in a way that is just not high vibrational. It's not light. It's not of the light. It's of the dark. I would just want to remind everyone to make sure that we're not in lower vibrational energies, assuming, hating. Hate is a big one. There's a lot of racists out there that think they're not going to know what hit them. They're not going to know what hit them. Your low vibrational energies, hating people, jealousy, envy, anger, resentment, holding grudges, being angry, holding on to negative energy. It's a spiritual death. It's just, even for the high-minded source player, it's just not going to feed you. Holding grudges. Why? When you really think about it, people before their deathbed are going to realize, you know what? I've lost so much time. I've lost this friendship. I've lost that. I've lost so much time because of bullshit. I've learned this lesson powerfully. People will learn lessons. Sometimes it takes a day. Sometimes it takes 20 years for people to learn something. And hindsight is 2020. Like, wow, I screwed up. Like, I screwed up. Like, yeah, you know. And you can't get that. You can't get time back. You know, kind of is what it is. But that said, this was just a little quick message for the spiritual crowd to keep your vibration high. Keep your vibration high. Don't fall into negative, low vibes. Because with what's coming ahead, you want to be your spiritual best self, in your higher self. You want to be spiritually powerful, and you want to remember to do your shadow work. Things happen to you, financial stuff happens, whatever it is, deal with it, process it, let it come through. These feelings you're meant to feel, let them come through, but come out on top. Remember to go down in the depths of your shadow, feel it, experience it, let it out, let those feelings come out. Let the pain, let the stress, let it come out, let it process. Don't run back to work and pretend everything's fine. Don't show up on social media, like you're happy. No, spend your time. Spend the time you take. Like you're not happy, get off social media. You're not happy. Spend time processing the pain or whatever it is that's bothering you. Deal with it. Let it come out. Let it all come up and process it. And, when you've really conquered it, when you've gone through it, you're a better person, you're a stronger person, you're a more powerful person, and come back up to the light, ascend, But if you're down there and you really haven't processed your things and your stuff, and I know a lot of, source players, they're too emotional, they're way too emotional, and they're not doing the shadow work. And a lot of us, because we're powerful, we're narcissists, and we don't think we think we know everything. A lot of us do. We don't. Check yourself. And that goes to me. I came back, I have to do the same thing every day. I check myself and challenge myself. And I always bring myself down to relive things. Okay, what did I do here? What did I do wrong? And analyze it. There's no shame in my game, Yeah. So that's a quick message. And once again, I'm reminded to those check the Patreon. That would be greatly appreciated, since they they don't monetize. They strip everything down. Like, we spend time to do this, so that would be appreciated. I'll leave that in the links. And stay tuned. I gotta hit some people up. Like I said, I've been so busy. There's some people who are on deck for conversations. And, I gotta go over what we're allowed to talk about. These times are insane. The times are insane. But, yeah, I'm gonna have some good conversations coming up. And I'm repeating myself. So, all right, guys, until the next one.